Are you?
Or we could do the Kyrie Irving one first. Okay. Kyrie Irving. So first and foremost, thank God the ADL reached out to Kyrie and informed him that the top of the hour was upon us and that there was an ad break coming. And if you no longer want to see those ads, unlike Kyrie, you don't have to pay $500,000 to the ADL. You can just use a $5 a month subscription or a free one in the form of a Twitch Prime, or if you're lucky, a gifted subscription that you receive to avoid the top of the hour ad break. Okay. You might believe the earth is flat or a globe. Doesn't matter. Top of the hour ad break still comes. Okay. Pity Wickles, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. So, Kyrie sent his parents to talk to the ADL. He refused to meet them. So, Felix Biederman of Chapo Trap has had a funny take about this. But here, let's watch.
Are you surprised that reaction and some of the things that you did hurt people?
Yeah, I think I can ask a better question. It's just, where were you when I was a kid, figuring out that 300 million of my ancestors are buried in America? Where were you guys asking those same questions when I was a kid learning about the traumatic events of my familial history and what I'm proud to come from and why I'm proud to stand here and why when I repeat myself that I'm not going to stand down, it has nothing to do with dismissing any other race or group of people. I'm just proud of my heritage and what we've been through. And the fact that this...
I don't understand. Why are dudes just being like, dude, why are dudes trying to undermine a legitimate argument that they have about how America ignores black men and black history by tying it to like a justification for anti-Semitism? It's so fucking stupid. And like, I think there's 2 parts to this, right? Both of them revolve around like light forms of white supremacy, but like liberals kind of see this because like they're so terrified of coming across as racist that like they don't know how to answer it. They don't know how to they don't know how to turn around and be like, this is completely irrelevant to what you're talking about. You know what I mean? But then also racist people love this shit because like they can both be racist and anti-Semitic at the same time. Or literally go along and say, hey, see, he's black. That's why he's being anti-Semitic. It's like a double bind, you know? Black people don't know better. That's that sort of thing. This dude needs media and rhetoric training as well. Maybe read a fucking book about the stuff they're talking about. No, I think he read too many books or watched too many documentaries.
This has pinned me against the Jewish community.
Like, I don't think Kyrie's anti-black. You know what I mean? I don't think he is. I think Kanye is. I don't think Kyrie is, right? I think he's just, like, delusional. Okay? Like, I for everything I've listened, for everything I've heard from Kyrie Irving, I've actually never heard him say any, like, dumb shit about black people. Like, he might have some delusional opinions or whatever, but I don't think he is anti-black at all. Kanye is definitely anti-black, at least now. Okay?
And I'm here answering questions of whether or not I'm sorry.
Chatter, how yay anti-black? What do you mean? What do you mean, bro? Dude, come on, brother. Come on. I mean, the White Lives Matter t-shirt being Candace Owens is fucking... Oh, some chatter said how yay anti-black? Yeah, okay. Well, for those of you who don't understand or haven't been paying attention to Kanye West since like 2018, he's best friends with Candace Owens, also known as Candace Owens, who is a black woman who, makes the bag, basically saying every white supremacist talking point and putting using her black womanhood as a shield to basically state every white supremacist clan talking point you can get out. Kanye West has identified and has basically internalized a lot of those points. and now repeats them.
Sorry or not on something I didn't create, and it was something I shared, and I'm telling everybody I'm taking responsibility, then that's where I sit. So, you know, these same questions that you guys ask, me dealing with it as being a melanated, pigmented person all around the world and dealing with racial biases against my skin color, demeaning me because of my religious beliefs, and I'm still sitting in the seat standing. So I take my full responsibility. Again, I'll repeat it, for posting something on my Instagram or Twitter that may have had some unfortunate falsehoods in it. But I also am a human being that's 30 years old, and I've been growing up in a country that's told me that I wasn't worth anything, and I came from a slave class, and then I come from a people that are meant to be treated the way we get treated every day. So I'm not here to compare anyone's atrocities.
Kyrie definitely isn't anti-black. He's just a huge conspiracy head, which is stupid. Yeah, no, that's my point. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that he is not anti-black. He's not like super ideologically motivated like Candace is. He's not like motivated by money in the same way. He's just kind of stupid. That's it. I don't know what else to say. He has a really unique perspective on a lot of conspiracy theories. He's just he's like the guy that a lot of people know that just has like insane fucking theories. The only difference is he has a megaphone. You know? And he also, as a celebrity, as a famous celebrity, is caught in the rookie hole where he thinks like everything he's preaching must be true and good and smart. So, you know, he just can't stop. He can't check himself.
Or tragic events that their families have dealt with generations of time. I'm just here to continue to expose things that our world continues to put in darkness. I'm a light. I'm a beacon of light. That's what I'm here to do. You guys ask me questions about basketball, I give you my expert opinion. You guys ask me about other
Not
things.
really the only one in the NBA to have the same beliefs. There's a bunch, but a lot of them are staying quiet right now. Is very apparent. Yeah. Like, we forget that I've talked about this already. We forget that celebrities, just because of the podium that they're on, are like just as susceptible to misinformation as anyone else. Okay? No one is above being duped. Okay? And Kyrie Irving has always been kind of a dupe, kind of a dummy. It's just the truth. I mean, come on. He flies year round for the NBA and literally thought, and still I think to this day, believes that the earth is flat. At that point, it's like, what do you want? I mean, this motherfucker flies all the time, dude. Look out the window. You know what I mean? It's like, come on.
Or the deception is, you guys investigate my life every day, and you justify it by serving your own purpose, which I honor. I would like the same respect in return, figuring out just like anyone else. So please keep that same energy when we're talking about anti-other things.
So he's misinformed, not bigoted? I don't know, Hasan. No, the bigotry comes from the misinformation. Like, he just starts saying, like, he's now saying a bunch of bigoted shit, like mostly anti-Semitic shit, because of all the documentaries he's been watching.
Because just because I post a documentary doesn't mean I'm anti-Semitic, and doesn't mean that I'm automatically standing with everyone that is believing in that. So it's unfortunate timing that we're in, but I'm glad that I could stand on the truth, because I'm not afraid of these mics, these cameras. I used to be looking everyone in the eye and telling them the truth. But I'm proud of who I am. Any label that you put on me, I'm able to dismiss because I study. I know the Oxford Dictionary. You look at
Kyrie Irving offered a simple message to science teachers Monday. I'm sorry, the Boston Celtics star said. And with that, Irving made it clear that he regrets publicly saying that the earth is flat. Oh, shit. I didn't know he actually apologized for it. My bad. Guys, he learned from that one. But you know what he didn't learn? Literally that, like, maybe you shouldn't go out and say some idiotic nonsense that you really haven't thought through. Okay? That was the lesson. The lesson there was you're not a fucking martyr if you go on a podium and say dumb shit. You just come across like an idiot. He said it during an All-Star presser too. It was so fucking funny. Did he do an Oxford Dictionary quote again? I'm gonna die, dude. Fuck me.
Get up, right? Cameras. I used to be looking everyone in the eye and telling them the truth. But I'm proud of who I am. Any label that you put on me, I'm able to dismiss because I study. I know the Oxford Dictionary. You can look it up, right? It's one of the biggest mistakes I had in being a kid.
He studied the dictionary, dude. God damn it, dude. Every dumb guy loves saying that. Are we policing this man's life? Dude, it doesn't work that way, okay? This is not about policing someone's life. This is about policing what they're saying in public. The point is, Kyrie Irving, ultimately, he can believe whatever the fuck he wants, okay? In his private life, he can believe and say whatever the fuck he wants. But when you go on a podium, when you go on your Instagram with like millions of little kids following you and you say, holy shit, you know, the Jews were responsible for the slave trade, actually, I found out. Let's watch this documentary. Okay? Hey, everybody, go check this documentary out that says that, Jews are the enemy of black people. You know, at that point, it's like, yeah, you can't do that as a public figure. You shouldn't be able to do that. You should not do that. And like, yeah, people are going to shit on you for it. People are going to criticize you for it. People are going to shit on you for it. And they should. That's also a part of free speech. I don't think Kyrie Irving is a bad person. I'll stand by that. I think he's just a misguided person. Like, I think he's just literally like, he's one of those people where because he's on a fucking podium, you literally think like he is actually doing this for some evil reason, right? Like, I don't think he's doing it for some evil reason. He's not like genuinely and legitimately like, I want to do fucking anti-Semitic conspiracies. Like, I think his worst quality is most likely his narcissism, right? Does it matter though? The outcome matters, not the intent. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think he needs to learn not to do this. He needs to learn not to say this. For sure.
Was not knowing European or Western language until I started looking it up and understanding the definitions and why they say, if you want to trick a black person, put it in a book. I was wondering my whole life why they said that. Now I'm 30 years old and I know reading is a superpower because it helps me understand where I'm going and where I come from.
That's a mega racist take, man. What the fuck? No, that's just like a white supremacist person saying like black people don't read. What? Isn't that what that is? Dude, let me tell you something. 3 minutes and 28 seconds of I'm 12 and this is deep, dude. This is literally just like, don't you think there's sometimes too much sympathy to rely on people's ignorance? What is this? Kyrie's character arc has been the most fascinating thing I've ever seen. In 6 years, dude went from an all-star NBA point guard who was yacht parties with all white women and no black women in sight to a vegan, Muslim, Native American, flat earther, anti-vaxxer, and anti-Semitic black Hebrew Israelite. Black fathers say that to their sons in Alabama, or at least I remember my black friend telling me that same idiom. Oh, the thing is, like, look, the thing is, when you're talking about black history in America, how it's taught, how it's educated, how people are misinformed about black history and what its like contemporary implications are, there is so much truth to that sentiment that there is misinformation that has been made permanent, that is a fundamental part of like American learning, okay? And in that sea of misinformation, I think there are a lot of blind spots. In that sea of misinformation, I think a lot of young black kids that don't learn about black history, like actual black history, end up fucking choosing their own destiny, basically. They end up choosing their own adventure. They look to alternative explanations. And if those alternative explanations do not revolve in like the real history, you end up, especially when it's paired with so much intergenerational trauma and so much contemporary trauma that you're experiencing, when you don't get CRT, okay, what Republicans consider to be CRT, brother, you end up looking for different ways of examining that intergenerational trauma. I think I talked about this before extensively with respect to Black Hebrew Israelite theories, Hotep stuff. Like, a lot of that comes from wanting to avoid that intergenerational trauma and refusing to recognize it, and wanting to basically say, "Oh, that's not real. That's fake. Like, that didn't happen to me or my people. That actually, we were actually kings, and that it's a lie that people have told now that we are no longer kings." Okay, it's a desperate attempt to not cope with the reality. It's hard, it's honest, nuance. This discussion should be coming from someone else. I agree. I am, way too fucking white to be describing this adequately, but this is something that I've read a lot about, and this is something that I know about. So I think I'm doing a decent job at the very least. He likely looked at bigger picture of the documentary without considering the underlying messages within it. Black existence within biblical texts, etc. I don't think he thought it through, considering a lot of people do think Jewish people do run bank society, not due to bigotry, but ignorance. Yeah. It's just anti-Semitism baked into our understanding of society for sure. Africans did have kingdoms pre-slavery, even during slavery. No race were all kings, though. What? Yeah, but there's a difference between like saying that Shakespeare is black and all of these like historical figures in the West were actually black and people lied about their blackness. Is avoiding the truth and trying to cope with the trauma by just completely avoiding it. You know? But yeah. Don't let them bait you. They're going to lead you somewhere it's hard to come back from. What do you mean? Yeah, totally not the same when you claim everyone is Turkish. Yeah, because I'm joking. Like, that's not at the heart of my ideology, okay? I'm not like a fucking Panturanist, you dingus. I'm making fun of motherfuckers who believe that shit. That's the difference. Even if Black Israel lore distorts history, isn't it still an emancipatory release for black people to believe in? Sort of like ignorance is bliss, genuinely asking. Dude, that's crazy. Like, that is just like myth making and myth building when there's so many real examples that you can point to is silly. I think it quite literally stems from all of those ideologies quite literally stem from avoidance of the truth. You know, look at the time. I already ran the ad break, man. I ran the ad break already. And if you're avoiding the truth, which is what white people want you to do, okay? White supremacists love when black people avoid the truth, okay? White people love that shit. That's why they have Daughters of the Confederacy. That's why they have all these white supremacist institutions and organizations that work to literally rewrite history, okay? That's why so many motherfuckers still say things like, oh my God, I see no race. I see no color. You guys are the real racists for seeing color. Like, that's their goal. Their goal is to literally get black people to not examine their own history. And that goal has been rather successful in America. Okay? That's precisely the reason why so many people don't learn about black history in this country, other than slavery was bad, and then it's like a footnote. They move on. And they even talk about like the slavers and the plight of the slavers in southern states. If you look at like textbooks, as we have done so far, like American learning on black history, American education on black history is so tweaked out, so fucking distorted. It is psychotic. Okay? And it of course makes white people feel a certain way about the mistakes of the past. It whitewashes such horrific wrongs of the past. And then also on top of that, it even makes black people see their own history in a different way. And it's built around lies. So, of course, obviously, I am going to say, no, it's much better to genuinely examine American history and talk about the systemic discrimination and its contemporary implications on black existence now. Because if you want to understand, like a lot of people say, oh, look at all the crime, look at all the gangs and the criminal activity in black neighborhoods in Chicago, okay? Or even when people talk about red states with so much disdain, when they talk about red states, they're like, oh, red states, they're all criminal. Yeah, a lot of those red states have incredibly high black populations. I hope you don't forget that, okay? Look at all this crime. Yeah, you can't examine all of that adequately if you just simply think it's black people doing crime for some intrinsic reason. Okay? And the reason why people see it as black people are doing crime because of intrinsic reasons, because of, inherent blackness as a condition, is because no one is fucking educating people on why crime actually happens across the board as a universal rule, pretty much. It happens as a consequence of external factors. It happens as a consequence of poverty. It happens as a consequence of material conditions that you are subjected to. Okay? That's it. And if you don't understand the material inequalities that black people face in this country, because no one is educating people on the truth about black history in America, black history in the West, and black history across the world, okay? If no one is educating people on that, then yeah, people are understandably almost going to lean on white supremacist theories. And that is the same for black people too. Like, black people also get that same education. I hate the black Hebrew rhetoric. We are West and Central Africans. We are great people who have given so much to modern civilization. You do not need to insert yourself into a Middle Eastern narrative about wandering nomads who believe they're the chosen people of God. That's what Oladera says. Oh, also, this is what Felix said, which is pretty funny. He said, Kyrie appears to have watched the lowest possible grade of black Israelite videos and now believes a Jewish version of Turanism, where everyone in the world is a lost tribe. I would have prevented this with my Hebrew Monsters 101 class. He also said, there was another thing he said about the ADL. The ADL is going to make $500,000 every time a famous celebrity says something Famous black celebrity says they're like a black Hebrew Israelite, so they can use that 500,000 to go to colleges and be like, you're not being properly deferential to the state of Israel. Where is it? Hold on. He said the ADL is such a good scam going. Every time someone watches a black Israelite YouTube video and they're famous, they're going to get $500K to yell at colleges for not being properly deferential to Israel.